This week's FibreKing Race of the Week is the Mini Miglias from Silverstone International, and what an epic race this was. Slipstreaming action from the start and up to 9 cars in the lead battle. Thanks once again to FibreKing for sponsoring October's Race of the Week. They are the UK's premier microfiber and car detailing company, and make sure to check out their full range of products at fibreking.co.uk. Also, make sure to give them a follow on social media at FibreKing.
No, there is no magic formula, is there, to winning in this category?
Did you say Jeff's got the championship in this one? Is it done?
Yes, I'm pretty sure he has, yes. Right. Pretty sure he's got that one wrapped up. He starts from pole position as well and launches off the line pretty effectively, holding the lead on the run towards Abbey Corner for the first time. Colburn second, Aaron Smith there trying to get the better of Endaf Owens for third, but Endaf will carry some good speed around the outside into Abbey, and I think will go ahead into third place. Yes, he does. Now moves up alongside Ben Colburn to the outside line on the brakes into Village, and very late on the brakes, Endaf Owens makes the corner as well. That was impressive on cold tyres.
It was, and many of these drivers are, as we've said many, many times. We've got some great talent here. Joe Polly being challenged by Rob Howard in the 72 car, Joe in the 76. The year of birth for her. She'd never give away a lady's age, but that's why she runs 76.
Ah, right, okay. Didn't know that. Everyone knows that now, though, Richard. I'm
sure
sorry,
Joe.
You for that.
Yeah.
Endaf Owens wants the lead, and he wants everyone to know that he wants the lead. He pokes out to the inside, goes past Jeff Smith cleanly, and the brightest thing on the grid is now the fastest thing on the grid, certainly at the end of the hanger straight anyway. Breaks through into the lead. Jeff Smith second, Colburn third, someone wide further back, not sure who that was. Hopefully they found their way back onto the track, and they will rejoin towards the back end of the top 10, I suspect. But Endaf Owens has been pretty impressive, actually. Went well in the race earlier on today, finishing in fourth. He was another driver who didn't race at Cadwell Park, so we've only seen him out once this weekend, but yeah, he was well and truly in the mix for a win until really getting shuffled out only in the last lap or so.
These things move as well, don't they? And
yeah.
the shots that Alpha are giving us do actually pick up the speed.
Yes, definitely. Especially that zigzag past the pits as they weave around really shows the speed. Not only that they go in a straight line, but the speed with which they can change direction. That's always been one of the great appeals of a classic Mini, hasn't it? And the Miglias handle so well. They need to when you're racing in close quarters like this. You need to be able to react pretty quickly to what's going on around you. Aaron Smith reacted well there, found a gap on the outside at Village and slipped through into second position, bringing Rupert Deeth with him. Now, Rupert, I think we haven't really seen the best of. He finished second yesterday, but earlier on today just didn't really seem to have the pace. He was only 6th, so good to see Rupert, who's usually a factor in these races, up at the front once again.
And here we come with the big split. Ben Colburn is hungry for his first win. It was nice to chat to him and his dad Richard yesterday in the podium interviews. But yeah, Rupert Deeth could get something here. It's in the black 23, and Ben Colburn in behind, but now Ben gets shuffled back a position as well. Oh, sorry, Andy, caught you. Andy's choking on the drink. Medic not required at the moment. Nor for Endaf Owens, who leads it. They go 3 wide into the club chicane, and coming through there is Jeff Smith. So we're going to have another Smith. He's got Aaron Smith on his outside. So they're going to swap ones next year. Presumably Jeff will have number 1 next year. I don't know what Aaron's. I can't remember what Aaron's normal number is.
20-something, I want to say. 21 rings a bell, but I may have just made that up. I'm not entirely sure. Ian Curley's back at the party as well. Didn't really mention him in the race earlier on. He was only 9th, but this looks like a much more competitive race so far, doesn't it? Look up the inside of Jeff Smith, maybe. No, not quite. So Smith slots into, what's that now, 3rd position, because Endaf Owens, whisper it, everyone, he's getting away at the front of the field. He wasn't in that shot. Look at that. That's a lead. That's an actual lead for Endaf Owens.
It's a Jensen O'Neill going type lead, isn't it? He's away and down the road. But that doesn't necessarily last very long, because the others might tow each other and work to try and catch up. Aaron Smith is the man with the mission at the moment. Is he going to be able to tow anyone with him? They're all trying to pick the tow up. As you can see, there's no straight line running at all. They're all like angry bees, as Paul O'Neill would say. And he said Paul O'Neill going would say, but
I nearly did that before. Yeah, I nearly did that. He's been called worse.
I wish he would go sometimes. Sorry, Paul.
He takes it well. He doesn't get much choice, but he does take it quite well.
He's good. Yeah.
He's got a good sense of humour. Right then, yes, Endaf Owens, I mean, this is a very good lead. I would be interested to know, maybe it's something you can ask the drivers after, what sort of gap you need to have to say that you've broken the toe. How far back can you be and still pick up a bit of a slipstream down the straights? Because the gap between Endaf Owens and Aaron Smith was 9/10 at the start of the lap. Quite a big distance in Mini Miglia racing terms, and yet still Aaron Smith was quicker on that lap. Might not have all been down to the slipstream, but he was a couple of tenths faster.
Yeah, he was. There is Jeff Smith at Marshall running.
There was a car in the barrier there on the approach to Village, and I'm not entirely sure. It might be Damien Harrington. No, he's in the pit lane. It's not Damien Harrington. It's the 89 then of Sean King, I think, that didn't come through. Not a nice place to find the barrier, is it? Hopefully he's okay. Marshall's running to make sure he was and see whether or not that's going to require a safety car period to get the car out of the way.
Fingers crossed not. No more safety cars or stoppages required today. As, well, Endaf, he was away, but away no Mua.
Indeed so. He's got Aaron Smith to his outside and Ian Curley up there in third position. There is the car of Sean King. It might not have made the barriers, actually. It might have just stopped short of the barriers. I think the first camera angle made it look like he was closer than he was. So hopefully no major damage done. But Endaf Owens, yeah, he's not going to lead anymore, has he?
No, he hasn't. I'm just looking. So basically it's 6, isn't it? 6 of them for the lead at the moment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I can just about count that high. Yes,
Is
all
that
the way
a
back to
sextet or a
Rupert D.
septet?
That'd be 7, I think, wouldn't it?
Septet.
Septet, I think so, yes.
Why is September the 9th month? Anyway, sorry.
See, these are the questions. These are the questions.
Someone will be doing it on the YouTube feed because I never get time to read, but I'm sure someone will.
Somebody will.
I made a comment about a cloud once, and somebody corrected me on whether it was a cumulonimbus or whatever.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Because that's what matters.
But thank you for those of you who do take the time.
Yes, we do. It's sometimes fun to look back through the YouTube comments, and lots of people do get involved, and there are people, God love them, who sit there all day listening to us, watching all of the races through the day, and we really do thank you for your support. It's something we don't often get the chance to do, but everyone who tunes in to watch these live streams, a lot of effort goes into putting them together, so we really do appreciate you coming along for the ride, enjoying a great day of racing. Speaking of great racing, we're a third of the way in, and still I make this at least 6 drivers, maybe more, who could still win the race.
I'm just shaking my head, literally shaking my head at how they get onto the straight and then they just burst one way, other way. It's just a great spectacle, isn't it? And Endaf Owens has done a super job of not only getting away but also soaking up the pressure since he's been caught not only by Aaron Smith but Jeff Smith in the mix as well. Ian Curley now down to 5th because you've got Ben Colburn around the outside. Curley lost a bit of momentum there. Now we've got Kane Astin who's come up into the mix as well. So it is 7 cars for the lead now. And Owen's still there. Is he going to be able to hang on to this? Jeff Smith, you kind of get the impression, is starting to wind himself up to just ping the car in 13 minutes time, 12 and a half minutes time, whatever it might be, up into lead position. Ben Colburn still wants his maiden win, very deserving of it. There's Rupert Death, multi-winner in the black 23. There's something very retro about an all-black Mini. Probably saw quite a few of them racing in my youth. And it kind of resonates something. The bright livery is not so much, but the black one does.
Well, of course, everyone goes for a bright livery so that they stand out. But, of course, when everyone's got a bright livery, sometimes just going plain black can be the better way. 3 abreast for the lead, maybe 4 abreast for the race lead. Ben Colburn sniffing around on the inside as well. I think Endaf Owens, though, has got the measure of them, hasn't he? Seems able to fend them off lap after lap into Stowe Corner, although Jeff Smith might have found a gap on the outside here. That's the inside line into the club chicane, and I think number 46 car is going to go through. This is tremendous racing as they head through. He's outbraked himself, though. He's over the curb. The car bounces wide. Endaf Owens tries to judge the switchback right. Didn't really do it perfectly, though. That stacks everybody up, and well, count them across the line. I said 6 for the lead. It's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, I think, in the lead group, and it's 3 abreast for the race lead.
Lovely to see Colin Peacock up on the lead group as well. Fantastic stuff. And Endaf Owens is he's giving us a real masterclass here of how to lead these races. Maybe he doesn't want to be there, but he's, you know, we heard the game of chess thing. Do you want to be in the lead going on the last lap? Do you want to do all the work through the race and then lose it in the closing stages? If that's what's happened, he's given us an absolute treat out front so far. Yeah,
this has been the race of the weekend so far, I think, hasn't it? Without a doubt. Don't forget in the Libra class, by the way, Josh Evans leading that class from Richard Colburn in 2nd position. So Evans on course for the championship in the Libras and also leading in the class. We're not even halfway through this race yet, and still we are getting more and more drivers contesting for the race lead. It's 3 abreast again. Ben Colburn tries the middle this time. Endaf Owens sideways on the inside. Just manages to keep the car pointing in vaguely the right direction and again holds on to the lead. I wish I could explain how he's doing this, Richard, but he is.
Yeah, if he gets a podium, and he could end up in 9th place if he makes an error on the last lap. But it's almost like, and he's not the cork in the bottle, but it looks like he could be. He's got the pace, he's just leading this, but look at them all behind. What other formula do you get this many? People talk about legends. Legends don't do this.
No.
They don't have 9 cars dicing for the lead.
No, that's true, actually, yes. Yeah, and just constantly changing positions. And you could fall 5 or 6 places down this group and still legitimately say, I can win this race. And that is great to see. We've got people like Jeff Smith, for example, down to 4th place now, actually. He was leading not that long ago. But consistently, it is that bright yellow number 12 car that seems to find itself out in front time after time down the Hanger Straight. That's the car that seems to emerge as the race leader. Now, as if 9 cars wasn't exciting, we might have a few more on the way now, because the 10th placed car just lapped quicker than all of those ahead. That's Ryan Taylor, and he's bringing with him some friends, the number 37 of James Cuthbertson and the number 15 as well coming with them of Pocock. So both of them starting to close in on this leading group. The more they battle, the more chance there is that we could get even into double figures as far as lead contenders. Jeff Smith is sideways, he's up the curb, he's into 3rd place, he might be 2nd by the bottom of the hill.
He could well be. So he's on the left of shot, the red car. It's still Endaf Owens out front. And maybe Endaf has been benefiting from the squabbling behind him, because people have tried to take the battle to him, but they've been busy squabbling amongst themselves. And this is the thing that Andrew Jordan said was the issue here. When you've got a big pack, you can't say, it's P2. It's just pot luck.
Yes, it was him that said, wasn't it? I think it's pot luck as to where
you have Andrew Jordan in this one. He's thinking about
that. He'd be 7s, wouldn't he? Oh, hang on. No, you're right.
Mike Jordan 7s, isn't he?
Yeah, no, you're actually right. Remember, he had that contact, didn't he? I think
of course,
it may have damaged the car, possibly. Well spotted, though. It goes to show how exciting the racing's been. I haven't even noticed Andrew Jordan is in it. Imagine if we added him into the mix as well. That would add just a little bit of extra excitement to the pot. So, out of Chapel Corner they go. Fastest lap set by Jeff Smith, by the way. He is in the lead. Now, it's the first time in quite a while it's not been Endaf Owens leading onto the Hanger Straight. He may be leading by the end of the Hanger Straight, but that is a slight change in the dynamic, isn't it?
It is. So Endaf Owens has a go. He's got his nose in front by the look of it at the moment. The rest of them just ping across whatever bit of track they want. So it is Owens back up front. Ian Curley back up into 3rd position. Ben Colburn is next up. Be careful which Colburn I say, because there are 3 of them that race.
Yes, that is Ben.
Only 2 in this.
True, but still easily confused, aren't we, as commentators? So Ben Colburn it is, who is in this lead group, and at any given time he is 2nd or about 7th. He's been sort of up and down the mid part of this group. Rupert Deeth there on the inside of Ian Curley as well. And the one we haven't really mentioned an awful lot is Aaron Smith, certainly not in the last 5 minutes or so. He's shuffled down to 6th position. That might become 7th if he's not too careful. Could be 5th actually by the time they get to Abbey Corner, as there the 79 car is recovered. That is Mark Burnett.
So here come the leaders again. Jeff Smith, is it the timing for him? A bit of a lock up there as he goes into the corner. He's busy defending from Ben Colburn at the moment. Smith and Owens, plenty of wins under their belts. Ben Colburn's been knocking on the door for a while, and probably one of the younger drivers in this championship. And the Westbourne team will do a mega job getting him further up the order. Jeff Smith still with fastest lap. Owens, though, back in front. They should have laps led stats for these as well.
Yes.
Or points or something like that. You're doing touring cars, don't you, for a point led, and one wonders whether, in order, but not that we need to encourage place change, because we get it anyway, but to maybe stop the people thinking, I need to be further back.
Yeah, good point.
Not that we need to stop anything with mini racing, really. It's fine as it is.
No, it does seem quite a good formula, doesn't it, really? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, maybe. But yeah, this is a fantastic squad. Well, Jeff Smith carries all the speed in the world through the left part of the club chicane, but had a face full of Endaf Owens, so couldn't really go anywhere with that momentum. There is Aaron Smith, car number 1. Not looking likely to claim a win at the moment, but you never know. This could all completely turn on its head, couldn't it, in the last few laps? And suddenly drivers we haven't really been factoring into this could be at the front of the group. Endaf Owens defended into Abbey Corner, ran wide on the exit as a result. Jeff Smith up alongside him now on the inside line into Village. And for the second time in the last handful of laps, it is Jeff Smith who leads at this part of the track. But it doesn't matter if you lead at this part of the track on the last lap. You've got to lead at the line, and that consistently, so far, seems to be Endaf Owens.
Aaron Smith and Rupert Deeth getting stuck in again. It is Jeff Smith then that leads here. They're all trying to work their game plan out, even to the likes of Colin Peacock in 9th position in red. Can he pick them off and work his way back up? We go side by side for the lead again. Endaf Owens wants to get the yellow car back in front. I think he's done it here. Whether he's got the line into the corner remains to be seen. Yes, he has.
Ooh, only just though, sideways. I don't know if there was a touch or if it was just the slightly leery rear end on Endaf Owens' car, but he was sideways at the apex. He's got the inside line down the hill. Ian Curley wants to try and find a way into this battle as well. Endaf Owens goes into the corner ahead, comes out of it ahead, and Jeff Smith, not for the first time actually there, just sort of bouncing out wide, losing momentum. That car doesn't seem to want to stop quite as well as some of those around him, and that won't help his chances on the final lap.
It won't, will it? We've still got 5 minutes 28 of this race to go, which is absolutely brilliant. And this is the lead pack. I remind you, I need to do that as we drop back a little bit further on. Josh Evans leading the Libra class at the moment.
Yep, down into Village. There you go. Yeah, Josh Evans from Richard Colburn from Hugh Turner, who won a race yesterday, I seem to remember, in the Libra class, or was leading it anyway for a time. Lead group then heading out onto the back straight. Who's in the lead this time? It's Endaf Owens, and not for the first time. He's got a little bit of daylight between himself and the rest. That won't last, but again, he's the only driver that seems capable of doing that.
Yeah, he's broken it whilst they have a bit of a sort out for P2, and he might hope for that in the later stages of the race with 4 minutes to go. So it's Ian Curley up to P2. Matt James, if he's watching us on the stream, will be wanting to celebrate with a pint with it. He'll have a pint anyway, Matt James, won't he, with Ian Curley, regardless of whether they get the win. And Curley, has he gone through? Has he made that? Difficult to see from the angle here, but it looks like we could have another leader with Ian Curley, although Endaf Owens is hard on the brakes, turns in.
And does not go through. Ben Colburn, by the way, in the pit lane. Ben Colburn pulling into the pit lane in the background, Richard. Not sure why, but that's a shame. So that takes one potential winner out of the equation. But there are still plenty more where Ben Colburn came from, so I'm not worried at all. This is still going to be a competitive final 4 minutes. Endaf Owens then with the lead. Jeff Smith round the outside of Ian Curley for second, just like that. And look who's creeping back into the picture. Aaron Smith, who I said I hadn't really mentioned a lot through the mid part of the race, up in 4th position and not out of it yet.
He's definitely going for it, isn't he? Rupert Death side by side with Kane Astin. Coming up there as well is Phil Pullen-Brown in the mix too. Is Endaf Owens he's going to be absolutely gutted if he loses his race. The amount he's led this race is going to be absolutely gutting for him.
Yeah, but is he almost being lulled into a false sense of security? I'm not saying the others don't want to get past him, because I think in a race like this they genuinely do, but you can sometimes be tricked, can't you, into thinking, oh, I've got this all in hand. I'm always leading at the end of the lap. Doesn't matter if they overtake me, but all it takes is for you to fall into second at the start of the lap, then maybe third at the complex, and suddenly you're too far back to do anything down the hanger straight. So he's got to be a little bit careful here. Yet again, though, he holds them all off as they come out of Stowe Corner for this, the 13th time of the race. Ian Curley tries to go around the outside of Jeff Smith, can't quite make it work. And again, it's Owens who will lead at the line.
So close between second and third place. Ian Curley, Aaron Smith quietly. Is this a stealth mission here by Aaron Smith? Is he going to... There was something in your tone of voice you told me we could see Aaron Smith get this on the last lap. Is he about to pick off another place? Ooh. We won't know, because Curley has a look down the inside. Smith goes down the inside as well. How do they all keep it all together? And Owens, despite the attack, still hanging on to it, but he's on the outside line, and Jeff Smith will get the lead. Curley's going to the outside. Aaron Smith looking to try and get through into third place. We hold our breath. The drivers are probably doing the same, or exhaling now with the amount of effort that they were doing, and Endaf Owens still there.
I don't know how any of them are still there. That was so close to disaster. Contact at Abbey Corner there between Jeff Smith and Ian Curley initially, I think, and then Endaf Owens on the outside kind of got the last bit of that. Somehow they're all still going, and they're all still in the fight as they head down the hanger straight towards Stowe Corner, and Endaf Owens again drafts through past Jeff Smith. Doesn't matter how much they try and knock him down. I think if Endaf Owens is going to be beaten in this race, they almost need to gang up on him, don't they? Get him down to third, get him down to fourth, and maybe, just maybe, that would be enough to prevent him getting back through on the last lap. The last lap is beckoning, by the way. 2 more laps to go, so this and one more. This that they're about to start and one more. And Endaf Owens leads. Jeff Smith second, Ian Curley third, Aaron Smith fourth. Fifth is going to be Phil Bullen-Brown, I think. I don't think we mentioned him. No, sorry, fifth is Kane Astin, actually. Then Phil Bullen-Brown battling Rupert Death and Colin Peacock. But that will probably have already changed by the time I finish that.
It will do. Lights on now, because we're getting into a bit of Libra traffic for the race leader. Traffic won't be a problem. He's been dealing with that pretty much all through the race so far. Because Owens and Smith, a little bit of a gap back to third place. Ian Curley's still there at the moment.
Oh, Curley carrying the speed into Village. That was very, very impressive car control, which you need to have in these things. They move around an awful lot underneath you. And trying to maintain that car control whilst also battling around so many other cars. This takes so much doing. Down the back straight they go. So yes, Libra traffic ahead. Hopefully not too many of these Libra cars. We don't want that to decide the race. Let's hope that this lot get to settle it amongst themselves. Interestingly, Jeff Smith and Endaf Owens now with a little bit of a lead over the rest of the pack. Whether that lasts through the final lap, I don't know, but that could change things, couldn't it? If Jeff Smith is in second place with no pressure behind, you'd think he might be content to just sit in second until the run down the Hanger Straight, but he's trying again on the outside into Club, and that will almost certainly mean they're all back together again by the time they get to the line.
Yeah, he had a go there, but it's still Endaf Owens out front. Endaf grabs a little bit of a lead as they come through that final turn, and that was the way the momentum fell really for Jeff Smith on the way in. He was, if you time it right, you can get a run down the straight. Didn't quite work for him. Here comes Ian Curley again. Is Curley going to have a go at Smith? Not quite close enough. Aaron Smith busy behind him trying to put the pressure on as well. Then it's Kane Aston, Rupert Death, Phil Bullen Brown and Colin Peacock still in the lead group, not that far behind. The other runners as well could possibly join in, but the clock has ticked down now.
Who's going to win?
Endaf Owens.
Okay, you heard it here first then.
Who's going to win?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. Down the Hanger Straight, they're
not
about
fair,
to
Andy
go.
McEwan.
I know, I agree with you. I think Endaf's got this. He's been managing this race well. But it could all change, couldn't it? It all could all go wrong on this final run down the Hanger Straight. Here comes Jeff Smith to the outside line. One last push, one last go at stealing the victory away. Gets his nose ahead, but he's not cleared Endaf Owens, and I think Endaf might be a bit better on the brakes. Yes, gets into the corner first. Back of the car steps out, though. He drifts a little bit wide, and Jeff Smith is now going to have to try and overtake into the club chicane, where his car hasn't seemed quite as settled as Endaf Owens, I would say. There's no gap on the inside. There's no real gap on the outside because Ian Curley is there. Curley tried to go around the outside of them all. They're all banging into each other. And Richard, you're absolutely right. As I also confidently predicted, Endaf Owens comes off the final corner, heads for the checkered flag and wins the final race of the Mini Miglia Championship for 2024. Second for Jeff Smith, third Aaron Smith, fourth position for Kane Aston, and Rupert Death in fifth. What a race. That was fabulous stuff. And Endaf Owens manages to come home victorious.
Thanks once again to FibreKing for sponsoring this week's Race of the Week. Head over to their website or social media to see their full range of products. Links in the description.